Tonight's on Global TV News Prime. Vice President Shetima Samos Lokbobiri Kyari to Aso Rock over petrol price hike. In business, Africa-China partnership generates $280 billion. On the foreign scene, Putin puts Russia says ready for talks with Ukraine. And in sports, search begins for African Para Games 2027 host city. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwebe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nightcomsat. Tonight, we'll begin by telling you President Bola Tinubu says Africa holds vast opportunities for investments, growth and development with its vibrant population, productive economy and natural resources. Speaking at a bilateral meeting in Beijing, China with Chinese Premier Li Qiang, the president commended the role of the Forum on China-Africa cooperation in advancing partnership between Africa and China for mutual development and prosperity. Global Television's Sharon Ajay has details.
President Bola Tinubu called for a strategic focus on areas of collaboration that will ensure the relationship remains mutually beneficial. The president, who is in Beijing for the 9th FOCAC, expressed his appreciation for the warm reception tendered to him and his delegation by the Chinese government.
Share a very common denominator, which is investment and development, to ensure China and African relationship is encouraged. For me, as a Nigerian, and equally as the chairman of the ECOWAS, I'm happy that the strategic partnership being promoted is acceptable to both sides. And this is the only way to go.
The premier says China is ready to work with Nigeria to deliver on the mutual understanding reached by President Xi Jinping and President Tinubu under the recently established comprehensive strategic partnership between the two countries. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV.
Thank you, Sharon. Now back home, Vice President Kashif Shettima has summoned Minister of State for Resources, Oil, Senator Hanikin Bolokbobiri, and the Group Managing Director of the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, Melekari, to Aso Rock. National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu also attended the meeting, which is believed to not be unconnected with the recent hike, the price of premium motor spirits, and the backlash that has trailed the development. Benue State House of Assembly has approved 6.644 billion naira for the conduct of local government election in the state. The approval was granted during a plenary session presided over by the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Aundoa Danjo. The lawmakers, in a unanimous voice vote, approved the supplementary budget for the October 5 electoral exercise. Speaker of the House therefore announced the approval and noted that the move would reinforce Governor Alia administration's commitment to ensuring a smooth and credible election process for the state. With less than 3 weeks to the 2024 governorship election in Edo State, chieftains of the All Progressives Congress APC, home and abroad, say they are confident of victory at the poll. Our political correspondent Anthony Momodu reports from Benin City, Edo State capital.
The APC campaign team, alongside party faithful, have continued to express confidence in recording landslide victory at September 21st polls. Former Oredo local government chairman Chris Okeben, APC national woman leader, and other APC chieftains in diaspora speak.
Obaseki promised Edo people modular refineries, 4 different modular refineries, and he said he brought investors who were coming to build those modular refineries, and we are waiting for even the commissioning of one, not 2, 1. None of them has been done.
We are talking about 21st of September. So we want a change in Edo State. And Edo people have suffered a lot. When I talk about infrastructure, there is no good roads, the health system is not working, the social services, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that has worked in Edo State for 8 years.
Senator Monday Okpebholo, this man is so humble. The level of humility, I've never seen it in any human being. He is down to earth, he is honest, and I see in him a guy that loves his state, he loves his people. He is determined to help Edo people.
Party members also expressed confidence in the party's capacity to win the election.
So we have to ask ourselves, has there been governance? No. Because Obaseki failed abysmally.
To support the market women and to wipe out corruption in the market. All this union that is making things to be costly in the market. We want a government that will come and help the market women.
Okpebholo is accepted in Oluku. Oluku has decided that Monday Okpebholo will be their candidate. With the crowd you see here, that is a proof that Oluku people have already accepted Okpebholo to be the next governor.
I am very convinced that with our manifesto, which is a manifesto of the candidate, Senator Monday Okpebholo, it is a goal for the state.
Come 21st September 2024, Okpebholo goes Nwode, and let him mark today for a record that he is the one that owes Nwode.
Anthony Momodu reporting for Global Television.
The National Economic Council, NEC, has given September 9 deadline to 4 states to submit reports from their states on the establishment of state police. The NEC also resolved to adopt the comprehensive report from the 36 states of the Federation, as well as the Federal Capital Territory, and warned that any decision taken will be binding on states that flout the deadline. This is coming on the heels of federal government's release of 3 billion naira to states affected by flood ravaging the country. Terna J has details.
Briefing State House correspondents at the end of the NEC meeting, presided over by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The acting governor of Oyo State, Abdurrahim Lawal, says the 36 states of the Federation were expected to submit their reports for consideration at the meeting, noting that the council will take appropriate decisions if the state fail to present their reports by the deadline.
All the states were supposed to submit for consideration of the NEC. Incidentally, 4 states couldn't submit, and for that purpose, NEC decided that those states must make their submissions on or before Monday next week. Otherwise, whatever decision NEC takes on the establishment of state police will be binding on those states that refuse to submit, to make submissions. So that is the resolution.
Governor of Bauchi State, Bala Muhammad, said NEC discussed exhaustively the flood situation across the state and that the governors acknowledged the support of the federal government in terms of releasing 3 billion naira as a measure to ensure that at least they provide palliative in this regard.
Council today discussed exhaustively on the issue of flood situation across the states, and the governors acknowledge the support from the federal government in terms of releasing 3 billion as a small measure to ensure that at least we provide palliation for the flood. The flood was more devastating along the northeast axis, where the major artery between Kano and Maiduguri has been cut off, with devastating effects on households, schools, bridges, and other means of livelihoods.
Meanwhile, chairman of Dangote Foundation, Aliko Dangote, and Bill Gates were among the dignitaries at the National Economic Council. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
And away from Sharon Ajay's report tonight, following a high-level meeting with Northern Stakeholders, Sarawak Consultative Forum, ACF, has called for urgent action to end the ongoing insecurity crisis in northern Nigeria. Professor Tukara Muhammad Baba, the forum's National Publicity Secretary, read a communique issued after the Board of Trustees meeting criticizing the current strategies against insurgents and bandits. He said other measures, including unconventional ones, need to be considered and tried. Leader of Ijaw Nation, Chief Edwin Clark, has asked the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egwetokun, to arrest the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, over his threats to set fire to states governed by governors from the People's Democratic Party, PDP. The former Rivers State Governor, while speaking at the PDP Secretariat in Port Harcourt, Rivers State capital, during the party's state congress, had warned PDP governors to steer clear of the party's affairs in the state. In a bid to drive interest and encourage organizations and individuals to identify technologies to establish and enhance the performance of existing businesses, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED-Fund, says it is set to host a 5-day research exhibition. Here is Queen Agaba's report.
Speaking on the upcoming fair, Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, stated that the exhibition, which is scheduled for 17th of November in Abuja, is organized for researchers, inventors, and creators who express interest in showcasing their technologies to participate free of charge.
Extensive consultations are going on with institutions and organizations which can collaborate with the fund to engender the issue of and protect intellectual property rights and address legal issues arising therefrom.
Speaking further on the fair, Professor Mamman says intense and wide consultations are ongoing with institutions and organizations that can partner with and support TED-Fund to drive interest and encourage individuals and organizations to participate and identify technologies to enhance performance of existing businesses.
Wide outreach and consultations are ongoing with institutional organizations that can partner and support the fund to provide technical support to organizations, individual entrepreneurs who successfully source technologies at the fair to establish enterprises and enhance the performance of their existing businesses.
The minister further noted that all additional details about the fair can be accessed on TED-Fund's website. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
Thank you, Queen Agaba. You're watching News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When News Prime returns tonight, Africa-China partnership generates $208 billion in estimates. Details of these and more after this short break. Please do not go away. This is Global Television, bringing you live broadcast of News Prime with Uyi Agmofwebe. Thank you so very much for staying with us. Now let's turn to business. President Bola Tinubu has commented that the flourishing economic partnership between Africa and China, which he says has been a trade between the two parties, reaching an estimated $280 billion. The Nigerian leader was speaking during the opening ceremony of the 2024 summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation taking place in Beijing. Sharon Ajay again reports.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says despite global challenges, the partnership has remained firm. He emphasized the importance of maintaining the momentum in order to deepen the partnership for the mutual benefit of both regions.
One of the highlights of this collaboration has been the flourishing economic partnership. Trade between Africa and China has grown exponentially, reaching an estimated $280 billion. These impressive figures speak volumes about the strength of our economic relationship.
Leaders and their entourage from across Africa has flown into Beijing since Saturday, keeping President Xi Jinping busy with bilateral meetings all week. Sharana J reporting for Global TV News.
We'll bring you details of that story subsequently. But let's turn to something else tonight. Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has reportedly suspended the sale of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, to independent marketers after it's hiked the product's price. 3 vessels are said to have berthed at the Apapa Lagos jetty to discharge imported petrol. The price hike had sparked a protest in Delta States as commercial tricycle operators, also known as keke riders, took to the streets of Warri and Efuru metropolis to resist the price increase. The Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, in the meantime, has announced that it has supplied 30 million barrels of crude oil to the Dangote Oil Refinery, with plans to provide an additional 17 million barrels soon. Executive Vice President of NNPCL Downstream, Adedapo Shegun, noted that the company will supply 6.3 million barrels in September and an additional 11.3 million barrels next month. In a related development, the Minority Caucus of the House of Representatives has called for the immediate reversal of the recent increase in prices of petrol, saying that it will no doubt increase the suffering of Nigerians. The caucus, in a statement, said the unilateral action of increasing the price of premium motor spirits disregards the principle of transparency, accountability, and fairness, which should guide decisions affecting lives of citizens. The federal government has declared a state of emergency on Onne Port in Rivers State following repeated incidents of importation of dangerous cargo, including arms and ammunition, through the port. The Controller General of Customs, Bashir Adeniyi, stated this during a press conference to unveil the seizures of illicit goods by Nigeria Customs Service Area 2 Command Onne in Eleme local government area of Rivers State. The government said it is immediately implementing emergency protocols at the port for the next 3 months by conducting thorough examinations on all suspected containers in the premises. Now, following the September 5, 2024 deadline given by the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, for banking agents, also known as point-of-sale POS operators, to register their activities or face prosecution, the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria has challenged the directive in court. Recall that the federal government, through the Corporate Affairs Commission, had issued a 2-month registration deadline for POS operators to register their agents, merchants, and individuals with the Commission, in line with legal requirements and the directives of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. In a bid to stop incessant national grid collapses, the federal government has concluded plans to construct what it called a super grid. The media aide to Minister of Power, Bolaji Tunji, said the Power Minister, Adebayo Adelabu, spoke in China, where he attended the China-Africa Cooperation Summit. Adelabu had condemned the national grid, saying its present state cannot support their vision for the power sector. Still talking energy tonight, gas production in Nigeria is growing from 7.5 billion cubic feet per day and is inching to 12 cubic feet per day, as according to the federal government. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperikpe Ekpo, disclosed this to journalists at a recent event in Lagos. Ekpo said his major focus during his second year in office will be to ramp up gas production and turn Nigeria into a gas economy, in line with the Decade of Gas initiative. As we go beyond our shores tonight, Russian President Vladimir Putin has declared his support for the candidate of the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris, in the upcoming U.S. presidential election. The backing has been seen as an apparent sarcastic remark a day after Washington accused Moscow of seeking to influence the vote. In a different development, Russian President Vladimir Putin says he is ready for talks with Ukraine after having previously rebuffed the idea of negotiations while Kyiv's offensive into the Kursk region was ongoing. Ukraine launched an unprecedented cross-border incursion into Russia's Kursk region in August, sending thousands of troops across the border and seizing several villages. Putin said shortly after there could be no talk of negotiations. Speaking at a question and answer at Russia's Eastern Economic Forum in the city of Vladivostok, the Russian president said he is ready for talks, but based on an aborted deal between Moscow's and Kyiv's negotiators reached in Istanbul in 2022, the terms of which were never made public. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, says a boy accused of killing 4 people at his high school in Georgia was interviewed last year by police about anonymous online threats. Colt Gray, 14, denied to police in May 2023 he was behind internet posts that contained images of guns warning of a school shooting. The suspects opened fire on Wednesday at Apalache High School in the city of Winder, killing 2 teachers and 2 pupils, investigators say. 8 students and 1 teacher were also injured. He was arrested on campus and will be prosecuted as an adult. The body of a British woman has been found in Mallorca, with a man still missing after the pair were caught up in flash floods. Rescue services had been looking for the 2 in the Torrente de Pare Cayon area since Monday. Spain civil guards say the 2 were hiking on the trail from the Cayon to the Mediterranean Sea. Now let's take you into the ever-exciting world of sports. The Managing Director, Global Television, Dr. Ibrahim Biu, has expressed the determination of the station to promote forthcoming 2024-2025 Nigeria National League season. Dr. Biu made the plea today when a team from the Nigeria National League paid a courtesy visit to the station, informing it of giving it a broadcast rights for the league. Our correspondent, Samuel Odi, has the rest of the report.
Dr. Ibrahim Biu, who welcomed the team, said getting the broadcasting right is a great honor to the station. As such, all hands will be on deck to ensure a smooth broadcast. He also assured them of Global Television's continued support and cooperation at all times.
I think it's an opportunity for us to work together, to promote sport in our country, and to show not only in our country but in the other part of the world.
The chairman, Nigerian National League, George Agu, who led the team and also announced the broadcast rights of the 2024-2025 league season to Global Television, says the station also has title and shirt sponsorship, badge partnership, and among others. George stressed the impact of televising the league matches and its success as a major unifying factor in Nigeria and beyond.
When Nigeria play and we win, Sokoto will erupt, Zamfara will erupt, Calabar will erupt, Port Harcourt will erupt, Enugu will erupt, everybody comes together.
The benefits of broadcasting rights to Global Television include increased viewership, more visibility on all social media platforms, and creating more avenues for commercials. The courtesy visit ended with a tour around the facility led by the Managing Director, Global Television, Dr. Ibrahim Biu. Samuel Odi, reporting for Global Television News.
The sports correspondent, Samuel Odi, thank you tonight for your reporting. To end News Prime on Global Television, here's a quick look at some of our big stories. Vice President Kashif Shettima has summoned Minister of Petroleum Resources, Oil, and the Group Chief Executive of the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited to Aso Rock over petrol price hike. In business, President Bola Tinubu has stated that Africa-China partnership has seen trade between the 2 countries reaching an estimated $280 billion. On the foreign scene, Russian President Vladimir Putin has expressed his country's readiness for talks with Ukraine. And in sports, search has begun for African Para Games 2027 host city. And that's the size of our news for you here tonight, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on Global Television. We would like to remind you that we are on DSTV channel 365 as well as Star Times channel 276. You can find Global TV on free-to-air or Nightcom sites. Kindly follow us across all of our social media platforms using @Global Television @ng.com. I'm Wiyag Mofogbe saying a big thank you to you for watching. I will see you again.